And of course, as the budget vote draws near in Parliament, the ANC is meeting with various political parties and the Democratic Alliance leadership is meeting to discuss the way forward on the matters of the budget. Yesterday, the ANC said that they will not compromise on key policy positions such as transformation and redress for the DA's support for the budget. The DA had previously said that they have drawn the line in the sand. That is to say, if the ANC seeks support for the budget outside the Government of National Unity Coalition, that they will walk away. They will consider the relationship as having been severed. And previously having also said that they're willing to support the budget as is with a VAT increase if the ANC changes its position on various policies such as the Land Expropriation Act. For more on this, we're joined by Prof Dirk Kotzé. Prof Kotzé, thank you so much for your time this evening. Really do appreciate it. This is a hard line, the sort of impasse that might not find a middle ground and or a compromise between the DA and the ANC. How do you anticipate that will play out this week?
Well, I think, good afternoon. I think what we are seeing here is typical negotiation tactics on both sides. From the DA side, they normally refer to this from a negotiation point of view as brinkmanship, and that is that you push the other side as far as you can get it, and until the very last moment. We've seen it in the constitutional negotiations that the same tactics were used, both in 1993 as well as in 1996 with both constitutions. So it's not something new in the South African context. It's very typical of all sorts of negotiations. So I think on the one hand, yes, the public feels anxious. They feel that there is high issues at stake. But if you look at the sort of the subtext of what we can detect from what is being said also, is that in the end, I think it's very, very likely that they will come to an agreement and make here and there some concessions. But otherwise, I don't think it is as if the Government of National Unity's future is now sort of in its last moments of existence.
Who is likely to fold first? Would it be the Democratic Alliance, who have demonstrated that there is some level of conditions through which they might support a budget that has a VAT increase in it? Or is it the ANC who's likely to compromise first, hoping that it can get the budget passed, seeing that perhaps if the budget does not pass, it's an indictment on itself, its cabinet and its leadership? Who's likely to fold first?
If I had to answer, I would have been a very popular person. It's very difficult to predict that. I think what we are seeing in terms of the DA's negotiation tactics is that they have now incorporated or included issues which have actually nothing to do with the budget. And it's, as you mentioned, some of them about some policy issues, about transformation matters, some issues that have been in the forefront lately. And they see if they can get some concessions on that again. I think in a sense it is the negotiation. We are now seeing part of the negotiations that actually if there was more time right in the beginning, they should have done at that point in time. But because of the limitations.
Has the Democratic Alliance shown itself and demonstrated itself to be disingenuous in its engagement on this, given that they're willing to make political compromises, or are they seeking political compromises on issues unrelated to the budget, not on issues of revenue and or expenditure, but on issues of redress policies? Is that a disingenuous way of engaging the budget debate?
Well, it's a matter of judgment that you're asking me. People will have different forms of judgment about it. I look at it from a negotiation point of view, and this is indeed a way of negotiating. And it especially might be effective because most of the parties that the ANC spoke with already said that they are not available to support. The latest is the MK party. So it's only left with the EFF as a possible one. But that is why I'm saying that in the end, I think if there's very close to the final moment of decision making, there will be an agreement.
Yeah, the ANC has 39 other seats outside of the MK party, the EFF and the Democratic Alliance to go after to get some support for the budget vote. Of course, they need a little bit more than 49 seats. They need 42 seats to get the budget across the line. But if they have all the other small political parties in Parliament on their side, and perhaps say the IFP in the Government of National Unity, it will have enough votes to get across the line. Is that likely to be the scenario, that the ANC will seek to get a budget passed without either the DA and on the one hand and or the MK party on the other hand, which has already said that they will not support it?
Well, I think that is the situation that the ANC will present in these negotiations, that if the DA does not go along with him, then they will be able to muster the support of these other groups, which I'm not sure whether that will be the case. But if, as part of the negotiations, they will most possibly present it like that. And then with the risk that the DA will be sidelined. And that will be the ANC strategy, I presume, in this current situation. And we will have to see which one of these negotiations ultimately will be the most successful.
Is this a volatile moment to the extent that it can determine the future of the governing coalition, or is it just one of the stumbling blocks, once again, that the coalition will come across and will have to see their way through?
This is a pivotal moment, this one. It's very much because it's about the budget. The budget is possibly the most important matter for any government, is to have a support and an approved budget, because that determines everything. Any type of activity of government. So this is, they are playing with high stakes, if I can put it in those terms. But I don't think this is going to, depending on the outcome, if the outcome is what I am foreseeing, then it might be an important moment in the development of the Government of National Unity, because my understanding of the government is that they are still very quickly learning how to deal with the matters of such a big coalition government. And that in the future, hopefully with next year's budget, most of these matters will not repeat themselves. So I think this is a very important moment for the government, but it is not everything or nothing type of situation now.
Yeah. Prof Kotzé, thank you so much for your time. Really do appreciate it. That is Professor Dirk Kotzé, political analyst.